There we go.
You're listening to Belly Up to the Blackboard, the podcast made for teachers by teachers. From classroom chaos to those unforgettable student moments, we'll cover the ins and outs of education and share the advice you need to avoid the biggest pitfalls. So belly up, grab your favorite drink, and let's get started.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back, Bree, again.
Oh, welcome back again.
All right, so today's topic, we were going to discuss Yondr pouches in schools. So our school districts just recently, as of this year, we've started to add Yondr pouches at the middle school and the elementary, or at the high school, excuse me. Middle school everybody has to put theirs in a pouch at the beginning of the day, and then they get them out at the end of the day. My kids have to do that. They're at the middle school.
You want to tell us what a Yondr pouch is for those people that don't know?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of schools now, a lot of concerts and things like that. They're doing Yondr pouches, and it's kind of like a cloth bag that has if you've ever looked at it, it's almost looks like a needle though, that they lock it, kind of like your security device.
Like clothing and stuff?
With clothing,
security tag?
Yep, excuse me. So put the phone in there, you lock it up, and then the only way to unlock it without trying to break it is with like a big magnet, I guess. So the schools have the magnets. Some kids have tried to get around it by using like pencils to pop them out and everything. But no, so we've added those to our district. I don't know if the elementary school has them right now.
Yeah, that I don't know either.
Yeah. With the high school, they have them if you get caught with your phone. So our old phone policy was you'd have to put it in like it's kind of like a calculator caddy that would hang on the wall. And you could do that if you were fine, if you did it every day. But if you tried to keep your phone on it, then we'll put it in the Yondr pouch now. So, yeah. And did you have it at your old school?
No. Last year was just kind of up to teacher discretion. And it was really hard to manage. What I've noticed this year coming back is since the expectations last year are kind of put in place, like you're going to put your phone in this calculator pouch, the kids automatically started doing it. So it wasn't like such a big, like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's more of like, okay, your pouch number one, like, they're putting their phone in their pouches when they come in.
Yeah.
So, and if the kids can also have them in their backpack, they just can't have them like in their pocket or anything. So I'll always like go through, if I don't see their phone up there in like pouch 2, I'll be like, hey, where's your phone? And they'll say, it's in my backpack. And most of the time it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had, with our class, my class is smaller. I've had kids that, they're pretty good about it. They'll put it in there. A lot of them want to just keep it in their bag. So I just say, make sure you put your bag at the front of the desk or at the front of the room. They got to have it against the wall. I did have one kid. I used my Yondr pouch for the first time this week, I believe it was. A kid said he had it in his bag, and then I said, "Well, show me." And he didn't. And he had it in his. Then he went, got it out of his pocket, put it up at the in the calculator caddy or whatever. I said, "Oh, it's going into a pouch now." And he goes, I forgot about it. I didn't know." And so I said,
they know.
I go, you lied to me. So now it's going in a pouch. So it's the first time and only time I've had to use it so far. But
I have not used it yet. I was close this week, but then I think to Yondr or not to Yondr.
Right.
So most of the time my kids keep their stuff put away, but I've had an instance this week where a student told me like they need to have their phone like near them because they had a family member like in the hospital or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then they were like, I found out later for some other students, they were using it to do other things.
Oh.
So I didn't catch them after that, but I probably would have Yondred it if I would have seen it.
Well, and that's the thing is you're going to give the kid benefit of the doubt for the most part, but then once they lie to you, that's
all she wrote. It's done.
That is. Yeah. I did have one kid, I guess, when we first got him that wanted to just see what it was like. I'm like, you can't open this.
Yeah.
Once we put it in, he's like, yeah, that's fine. So he did. And I emailed our office and said that he's not in trouble. I didn't email home. He just wanted to see what it was like to have it in there. So some kids are interested in, like, they've never seen them before. So
I think it's funny when they have to carry their Yondr pouch around with them all day. It's like, oh, you got Yondred.
You got Yondred. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, and we don't do it just because of no reason. I mean, we've had issues, and everybody across the country and maybe across the world has had issues with phones now that, they're so more prevalent than they were when we were in school. And you'd give, like you said, give the kids the benefit of the doubt of just, hey, first it was like, keep it in your pocket, don't take it out. You can have it during lunch, things like that. And then kids would start to try to hide it under their phone, or they'd put it on their desk and say, well, I'm not going to look at it, it's face down. But even for me, if it's out,
you want to get it.
You want to just check. Yeah. It's like when you have that what do you call it? Oh, the phantom, like vibrating or phantom ringing. You think you feel it, but you don't even have your phone on you.
Yeah.
I've had that before, and I don't know, maybe it's the addiction part of it. I don't know. But yeah. And in high schools too, we see with the issues with cyberbullying.
Yep.
Cheating, social media distractions. And I'm bad about it too with social media. It's just, you're at home, you're doing nothing. So you're on social media. Now kids are doing that while they're sitting in their chairs in school. And,
yeah.
I think the worst part is the cyberbullying.
But I had kids, so I'm not saying this will not happen with the Yondr pouches, but last year I had kids that would take pictures of their tests, and then they would send them out, and it'd be floating around, and then the teachers would find out about it, and then you had to try and find out, okay, who took the original picture of the test and sent it out. And and with my class, like, they talk a bit more freely about what goes on. It's kind of a different class, and so I end up finding out like all the tea about stuff. Like, so I know if one of my kids has taken a picture of a test.
Yeah, and I think we had a kid do that this year, maybe. Now, it's one of those things that you're going to get found out, right? Yeah. Especially, I think didn't you see a kid?
Yeah, he was walking in your room and he was taking a picture of a test, and he like tried to act like he didn't do it. Yeah. So then I was like, I'm going to call Chris right now.
Yeah, it's and there's that, and then there's there are different, like, if you want to call them AI, but where you can take a picture of a question and it'll give you the answer for it too. So
like photomath?
Yeah, photomath. That's what it is. Yeah. So, I mean, if your phone is out, how quickly you can try to snap a picture, especially if you're in a big class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the teacher's walking
30
around.
Kids. Like, you don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That, or they're ChatGPTing the answer to questions that they're supposed to be doing.
That's the other thing. ChatGPT it's so good, but it's so dangerous.
Yeah, I like using it for things, but like kids, like, oh gosh, I can't. If I knew I had it readily available, I would try and use it all the time too in school.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think, and I don't know about when at your old school, if you saw a lot with like fights and stuff like that. A lot of now it seems like it stems. It used to be if you run your mouth, you'd kind of have to fight there, or back down or whatever it might be, or apologize. Now everybody was doing it on their phones. Mm-hmm. So I think that has been a huge thing, having the Yondr pouches as an option to where kids are just, they can't do that, at least at school anymore.
And they have a harder time like organizing the fights. Cause I know like we were struggling with that a little bit at the beginning of the year, but I think like being more like making sure we're Yondering the phones when people have them.
Yep, when they have them out.
Has led to less fights. And like we got to figure out let kids go into the bathroom all the time. Like me and my teacher were talking about that today. Like some of my kids go to the bathroom all the time, and you don't know if they're going in every single period or what.
Yeah, and then you have to almost, it feels weird, but you almost have to look at their pockets as they're coming to making sure they're not lying about.
Well, yeah, the principals, if they see in their pocket, they'll take it.
Yeah.
If it's during instruction time, which I think is so funny.
Yeah, like I don't want to look at a kid's jeans to see if he has his phone there, but I get what they're saying with it too. Is that it's a constant battle. So, but it's better than what it was, because now, before, if you would. If you get your phone taken in class, then it'd go up to the office, and then maybe you'd get it, but somebody would have to come and get it. So then all of a sudden you still have it for a while, or it's just on the teacher's desk. Now you can't access it. If you get caught, it goes in a Yondr pouch. You can't access it.
Yeah, no one can access it.
Yeah, so you lose it for lunch. You lose it for, until you get it unlocked at the end of the day. But
yeah, and if you have open periods but you still have class, like they're not going to give it back to you.
Yeah, and then of course the cost, like if you break it,
which some kids, it sounds like we've had some this year already.
Yeah, they'll try to use pencils and pop them open and pry them open, and then you can see the damage. So I think they have to pay $25 a piece. But if I was a kid and I was thinking about this, and you've got your Yondr pouch, everything, all communication, it seems like, between kids is through technology.
Yeah, that's all they know.
So you're trying to check, what your friends are doing with text messages. You're trying to check social media, now Snapchat. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest one. I don't use it, but kids send snaps. And
well, that's like the new, is so weird. You used to get like people's numbers if you liked them or whatever. And now it's like, can I have your snap?
What's your snap?
Just so weird.
I know. My kids have asked for it too. And I told them, you do not need social media. Well, it's how I can communicate with my friends. Well, you can text them.
Oh, Snapchat is so dangerous because it takes one person to I know they can do it texting too, but one person to screenshot whatever you send.
Yeah.
And if you think you set it for a 10-second timer, someone can still screenshot it. When I taught at middle school, when I first started teaching, there was a girl, a 7th grader, who ended up sending inappropriate pictures of herself to somebody, and it got all over the school, which was terrible for her. But I'm you just got to be so careful with that stuff.
Yeah, and
it's don't do things on there if you don't want it to be screenshotted.
Well, and I don't know if kids know how to. It seems like they're so dependent on social media and their phones. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like you have to retrain them how to talk to people in person.
Yeah, social skills. A lot of kids nowadays, they don't have the social skills to hold conversations with people, especially adults.
Or look you in the eye.
Yeah. That's so when I teach. My class is different, but I teach them how to greet people and shake hands and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that if I take them, we had a field trip last year where I took them out, and the people that worked there, they came and ate lunch with us, which was awesome. They had only yes or no answers to questions, didn't want to engage in conversation because they don't know the people. But I was like, you guys don't know how to do that.
Yeah. It's so awkward. And now my kid, speaking of awkward, is coming in the door. What? Get into what? Get into the school? Yeah. Not right now. We're on recording right now. I'll come get you. I don't know. The more I'm talking to you right now, the longer this takes us. Probably not. It's 3:18 right now. Good talk. Speaking of awkward kids trying to talk to make eye contact. And now we let my dog inside. This is just a cluster. Jeez, Rosie. Oh, man. Okay, where were we? Oh, distractions and dependency, huh?
Oh, yeah. FOMO, a lot of kids, they would say they have.
Yeah.
The fear of missing out.
Yeah, and that's where I think they check their phones all the time. They want to make sure that if somebody posted something that they're the first. And I'm bad at this too. I check how the podcast is doing, how many people have downloaded it and things like that. So I'm refreshing.
You're going to look, how many people liked our post, how many people commented. So just kind of the fear of missing out, am I going to miss a notification, or am I going to miss what someone posted, or maybe they posted something about me, which then leads to stress and anxiety for kids, which I think they deal with a lot. And I think it is also kids are addicted to their cell phones, which I am too. So when I have it near me, if I can access it, even in PD this morning, we were in the middle of a meeting, but my phone was there. So I grabbed it and was
just to check.
I was just looking at stuff for no reason.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So like, and I mean, we're adults and we catch ourselves doing it, so we can know that, hey, I should probably put it away or turn it upside down, or even upside down. I'll still check. Mm-hmm. So you think about kids that do not have fully formed brains. It's the addiction of it, and a lot of times they can't regulate that or know how to.
Well, and they see what everybody else posts, and of course, everybody on social media is going to post their best things.
Oh yeah, and the filters are terrible.
Yes, yes,
yep. It's tough, and I get it. I'm glad. No, I had a phone when I was 16, but it was a flip phone.
Yeah, I had an old Motorola flip phone with an orange case.
So you didn't have all of the social media you have today. I'm so glad I didn't, because I could see it, and it's so easy to post something on there. And so I think that's a good thing about having those Yondr pouches, is that it's one more layer of, okay, if you're able to put it up, great. If you're able to keep it in your bag, you're fine. But if you can't handle that,
then it's going to go away.
It's going to go on the way. And I know we were at a point earlier this year where it wasn't working, like whether it was teachers not following through or kids just not getting caught or whatever. It was so many kids had them still that we were talking about just mandatory Yondr pouches. Mm-hmm. And we haven't gotten there yet, but
it almost happened a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Almost happened.
So, like I said, the middle school does that. And, I could see that eventually happening if kids can't handle it, can't be 45 minutes away from their phone. So
yeah, we did. We talked about it, like addiction, a little bit. So we ran some numbers earlier today looking at screen time for kids. Yep. And we said in 2015, teens were on their phone an average of 6 hours and 40 minutes, which I think is about what I average during the week.
Yeah.
2019, 7 hours and 22 minutes. And in 2021, 8 hours and 39 minutes.
Yeah. To be fair, we didn't run the numbers. We found the
numbers. Yeah. We didn't actually do statistics.
No, we did not. So, yeah, I mean, and it says screen time. So you take into account.
A lot of people watch like video, like shows on their phone rather than on TV.
A lot of kids stream more now than instead of actually sitting in front of a TV and watching it, which I do too. And I'm bad about if there's a football game on, I'm watching it on my TV, but then I also have another one on my phone, or I'm scrolling through social media as I do it too.
It amazes me how much time I lose when I just mindlessly scroll on TikTok.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like it could be an hour, like at night, I'll look at the time when I get off and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Where did the time go? Yeah.
I just spent an hour scrolling on about stupid things like on social media.
Doom scrolling, I think is what. Yeah. So, and when you think kids have their Chromebooks. So, I mean, that's a screen, and I don't know if those statistics take that into account too, but even still, that's a third of the day awake if you sleep 8 hours, right? A third of the day is on a screen. And it could be multiple screens. Like I said, if you have your Chromebook on, but you're also looking at your phone or the TV's on. I know I'm a Nebraska fan. So now with Penn State firing their coach and they're talking about rumors of our coach going there, Matt Rule. So then I'm like, if I'm watching TV, I'm also like
checking out the news,
scrolling on X or scrolling on Instagram, or whatever it might be, just like seeing if there's anything posted and just going down that
I feel like, news stories that like come out that I get really invested in. I'm constantly checking for new articles.
Yeah. And it's just as bad on TikTok too, of like, if there's something that's interesting on there and then you look down and then it's the next video on it and you click on that and you just go down a rabbit hole. And if we do it, I mean, obviously you think about how bad it is for kids. So that's it. But, when we look at some of the pros we talk about distractions, right? Mm-hmm. So some of the pros of the Yondr pouches, right? One of them is reducing distractions, more engagement in classes, especially for those younger kids. They're in the pouches at our middle school. So kids have, other than I have heard of some kids are trying to they'll smack it on the desk. I've heard that in the middle school, they're just taking it and they're just holding the pouch and they're just hitting it along the desk trying to get it open, and maybe that's more of a distraction for some of the, or at least for the rest of the class.
Yeah. Yeah, then what do you do with that? You take the Yondr pouch with the phone in it?
Yeah, I think they do. Or, they could break their phone. I don't know. But then you break it, like you said, it's $25 to do it. But I think knowing that that's where it's going with your phones, kids are more apt to put it away. Put it up in the calculator caddy or phone caddy or whatever you want to call it, and or putting it in their bag, because they know if they lose it, because they still have access to it between classes. So if they get caught with it, it's gone the rest of the day, basically.
Yeah, they can't talk to their friends the rest of the day.
So I think that does help with reducing distractions. Kids are less apt to try to check their phones because they're going to lose it for the rest of the day. So I think it helps with, with distractions. Obviously, if they're not on their phone, they're not on social media, not texting, or not running their mouths on there. So that cyberbullying can go down, but...
Or like trying to organize fights like in the bathroom or in the hallway or lunchroom.
Mm-hmm. But what I have heard what kids will do now is, so we have Google Docs. So they'll open a Google Doc, and I've heard this in other, like they'll share the Google Doc with their friends. So now instead of texting, they're just on a Google Doc doing it.
That's actually smart.
It's really smart, yeah, right? Because you can't chat, I don't think, with because we use Gmail. They can't chat with Gmail.
No.
With their friends, I don't think they can't do group chats.
They used to, because I remember when I taught her before with Go Guardian, I would just have it up and I would look at these kids' conversations.
Yeah, because they're chatting with each other.
Yeah.
But no, I think I heard it just this morning, and it wasn't here. It was on the radio. They were talking about it, how they will, they'll open a Google Doc and invite everybody to it. So now it's just a running doc.
Now I'm gonna have to run Go Guardian all the time just to check this out.
Yeah. So I'm interested how many of the kids, I have seen kids do it before in my class, because I've seen it on Go Guardian. But I'm wondering if that's the next thing. So yes, it's helping with less cyberbullying and, like you said, social media fights, and kids are more interactive face to face. Now in the hallways between classes, kids have access to their phones, so there's still.
It's only a short time though, since our passing period's only 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. So they don't have a ton of time. So, but when those schools that go immediately to Yondr pouches, and I think it is. I think they report, from what I've seen, they report improved attention. You said you had a kid that mentioned that he got so much more work done not worrying about his phone. Yeah. Kid flat out told me, I got my phone Yondred and I got so much work done. I was like, weird how that correlates.
Yeah. But now if you ask them if they would volunteer to put their phone in a Yondr
they would
pouch,
not.
They would not.
They would not.
So, and then you see that less dependency during the day on those phones. But then immediately, as soon as kids get their phones unlocked, what are they doing?
They're scrolling as fast as they can.
They're getting their fix.
Yeah. Getting those dopamine levels.
Oh my gosh, hitting it. It's like they're just waiting.
Oh my
gosh,
just
waiting for time.
Chomping at the bit. Yeah.
So I know my kids have them, and I think they bring them. Usually they have them in their backpack. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if I should just Yondr them at night.
Yes.
Lock them. Get my own Yondr, your magnet to unlock it.
I wonder how much that would cost. That magnet probably costs. That magnet is huge.
I know, yeah. And I know they have it at the middle school. They have it attached. Do we have one in the back of the school? I think it looks like there is one, but
no, I've only seen the one in the office, but I don't know.
So they have one at the middle school, just it's locked, so kids can't just use it. So it's got a flap that shuts it. But then that's where they do it at the end of the day. Maybe I just need to get one of those. Just have it so they can unlock it at the beginning of the day, and then we'll lock it up at a certain time. But so when you talk about concerns or the cons, I guess, of Yondr pouches.
I know since you have 2 kids in the middle school right now, I want to ask you how with safety, how do you feel with your kids having their phones Yondred if something were to happen?
Yeah, that's tough, because I am a parent. I'll text, and I don't expect them to respond to me. and obviously now they can't, but like last year before we had it, I would text them something that at their convenience when they can, not immediately in class, but at lunch, to text me back. So I have done that. I've been that parent. So for them not have their phone, I think it's good right now, obviously. But if there were to be something, an issue at the school, right? Like, you talk about active shooter and stuff like that. It would be hard for me not to try to get a hold of them. Mm-hmm. That's my first thing. My second thing is to drive over there.
Yeah, I feel like I would just go over there right away since it's like right there.
Yeah, because it's only, we just have the path between us and the middle school. That's what I think I would do, is to drive over there, and it'd be hard to not do it. Mm-hmm. And obviously it would be an act. If there were something to happen, it'd be a situation where I wouldn't be able to get in, but it'd be the hardest thing to not.
Yeah, to try
to get in there.
Yeah.
Yep. So that would be hard, but I completely understand them not having it. Within emergencies, you always want your kids to be able to communicate whether they're safe or not, because that's all you're doing is worrying about them,
I even have a daughter at our preschool, and I worry about stuff like that happening, and she doesn't even have a phone.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would just get in my car and drive there no matter what.
I think that's probably what you would do. And I think that's what I would do. So it's, and how there's a lot of parents that will text their kid that, hey, I need to pick you up for an appointment.
It doesn't require a response.
But it also, why not just send that to the office of, hey, I'm going to pick them up at, and I think they have to, because they have to pick them up. But I think we've gotten away from.
Well, some kids will even tell you, hey, I'm supposed to be leaving for an appointment. And so I'm like, okay, let me check Infinite Campus to see if it's on there. And if it's not on there, I'm like, you're not going until they call you.
Yeah. So whether you have to go or not, I get it. Thanks for letting me know. But
if
I'm not going to let you
say
go
you're leaving or they don't call, I'm not sending you anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'd be interested. I thought I looked it up because we had talked about, I brought it up. He was our vice principal at the time, about why don't we do Yondr pouches? Because I had heard like Dave Chappelle does it for comedy. Some places will do it for concerts. Like, why don't we do that at school? And the price was one of the sticking points. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking that must either it came down, or I think the state has grants for it now, because the state is pushing no phones in schools.
Yeah.
I know our state is, and then multiple states are too. So if they've done offered grants to help pay for purchasing the pouches. I
was shocked when our principal said we do have enough Yondr pouches for every single kid.
Yeah.
I was shocked when he said we have that many.
Yeah.
So if we have to go to that, we will, but I did not think we had that many.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I was surprised too. So
but it is nice now that we have some in our rooms rather than calling them to bring a pouch down.
Yep.
So we can just put them in the pouch in our room.
So I think the cost wise, I think that was always a deterrent from before.
Yeah.
But now I think that's one thing that now that I think the state might help with that possibly. Be interested to see the exact price of what a Yondr pouch is. Let me look here. This is me using technology again. Same thing with kids, but it's AI. So does that really even matter?
No,
it doesn't count. Doesn't count, right? Let's see. Searching. So many school are saying that schools spend $25 to $30 a pouch. So, that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think about, you have a school of, we're about close to probably 600 kids, I would bet now.
In the high school?
Probably.
Is it that high?
5 something. Yeah, I think so. So then you think about that. 20. That's quite a bit. So.
Well, my old school is absolutely ginormous. There's no way that they would be able to Yondr every kid's phone.
Yeah, unless, like I said, you get a grant for it. So you think, about, it's. So a school with 1,400 pouches, estimated cost of $26,773. That's pouches, support, unlock bases, and stuff like that. So your old school, how many kids you had over what?
They got probably 1,300 kids.
So they're looking at about just under 27 grand just for the pouches.
Just for the pouches.
And the support and everything, but so, yeah, I don't know. I think I can say it because it's not my money. It's worth spending the money for it because I think it's a good deterrent.
I think the Yondr pouches have been great.
Yeah.
Like having that as a backup.
So, and I didn't realize the Yondr pouches now, they also have larger ones.
Yeah, we found that out this morning.
Yeah. So I can't believe that. But yeah. So we think about, we talked about pros and cons. What's an alternative? Now we talk about school-wide policies of no phones, and some states are going to, your school can't have enforced at the state level.
But I think even if you just say no phones, like the kids are still going to try and find a way. I know we had discussed about this, but like we talked about teaching like digital responsibility.
Yep.
I feel like you'd almost have to have like a class that they would have to take.
Have to pass?
Yeah, have to pass about how to use technology or something. Yeah, I don't know how you would track that carrying over like after they're done with it, but
and having one more thing
to do.
One more thing on your list. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
After BD today, I don't know.
This morning was long.
It was very long. So I don't know. I think they're, overall, I think they're good. I'm glad we have them. I think it's teaching kids that unless you want to lose it for the day, you can handle not having your phone for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I like that we have decided to allow them, to give them responsibility versus just all the time yondering them.
Yeah.
So I think for the most part, it's been really good.
Yep.
I feel like really only have a handful of people that it's probably a chronic issue for.
Yeah, and I think that's with other things too. Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of kids.
Yep.
They can't handle it.
Yeah.
So, like you said, they need that dopamine hit.
Oh yeah, I do too.
So, what else do we have on your? Or have we hit everything there?
I think we hit everything. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. So obviously some pros and cons. Pros, kids. There's less social media drama in the school with the Yondr bags. Especially at the middle school because they're all there automatically in the Yondr bags. For us, the threat, the threat of losing your phone, I think that helps kids get off of it. Still have issues, but not as much. Mm-hmm. Cons, if you really want to, you couldn't get a hold of your kid if there was an issue.
I think that's only real con.
Cost, maybe.
Yeah, obviously. Cost. But if like my mom wanted to get a hold of me when I was in high school, like she called the office and they like told me I had an appointment or something.
Yeah, so that's not a real big con, other than in a situation where there was like an emergency.
Yes, and like I would agree. We like when I went to high school, that wasn't a thing. Like active shooters weren't as big of a deal then. Yeah. Like it wasn't happening as prevalent, and so I get it. Like being a parent this day and age is scary. Yeah. Like sending your kid to school every day, but I feel like that's one of the only kind of cons of the Yondr pouches is just not having that communication piece with your kid.
Yeah, agreed. As a parent, that would be the con. As a district, cost-wise, right?
Yep.
But, if they do have, like I said, grants to help pay for that would help offset the cost. I think that's a good thing.
And I'm sure there's probably a lot of those grants available now that it's a state law.
Yeah, I would think so. Because if schools can't enforce it because they don't have the funds, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So my question is, do Yondr pouches help student focus, or do they go too far? So for all of our students that watch this on YouTube or on TikTok, I would be interested to see what their thoughts are on the Yondr pouches.
Yeah, let us know, guys, on the comments. And if teachers are listening to this, comment on if your school does something different or what experience you've had.
Yeah, we want to know. We'll discuss it, and we always love to hear the feedback. So, all right. Sounds good?
Like and subscribe.
Hit the follow button. All right, we're out of here. I'm playing music.